I brought two students who are working with me, so Tuolani Nascimento and then Venanzio Munyaka in the back. And both of them are graduate students, and they are studying fossil leaves for their projects. Venanzio is working on some stuff in Kenya. I'll show you some photos of some of the stuff that Venanzio is working on. And Tuolani is studying fossil leaves that were collected in Antarctica, actually, which is really pretty cool too, right? Okay, so what I want to tell you is a little bit about myself and the kinds of stuff that I do. Because what I like to do is I use rocks and fossils to help us understand the past. And so to start out with, I'm Dan Peppe, that's my name. I'm a professor in the Department of Geosciences. I've got two kids about your age. My daughter Anna is in 7th grade, and my son James is in 4th grade. So they're kind of around the same age as you guys, and are interested probably in similar stuff to you. So what I work on, the things that I focus on are fossil leaves. So I'm showing you some different pictures of fossil leaves. So these are some fossil leaves that Venanzio collected in Kenya. They're about 20 million years old. These are some fossil leaves that we collected in New Mexico. They're about 65 million years old. These are some of the students that I work with in my lab. And what we are able to do is use fossils to help us reconstruct what the past was like. And so what I want to tell you about is a little bit about kind of what it's like to do that kind of work as a paleontologist. So this is a map of Africa. And so a lot of the work that I do is in Eastern Africa. This is Kenya and this is Uganda. And the fossil sites that we work on are between around 15 and 23 million years old. And so what we do is we go to those sites in Kenya and Uganda, and we collect fossils from those sites. And so when we go, we usually go for really long periods of time, for weeks at a time. And so we set up a camp. We all live in tents. These are some of the places that we work that are on Lake Victoria. This is a place in northern Kenya. Here we're camping. These are some dry riverbed that we were camping in when we were living, because it doesn't really rain there very often. And so when we're out there, we're really living there, and we're living there for a long period of time. And so we set up our camp, and so this is what our camp would look like. This is our field site in a site called Koru. This is where Venanzio is doing his dissertation. So you can see some of our tents here where different people are staying. We have a kitchen tent, and we have a cook that makes us food. So our kitchen tent often looks like this. It has fruits and vegetables in it. We'll have like a stew. Here's a lamb stew that our cook made at one point. And we've got all the stuff here. So those things, those are our showers. That's our bathroom. Those are our tents. That's where we're living. We have a tent here, and that's where we do a lot of our work. So we'll hang out. We'll eat our food there. We'll talk together. Here, this group, where they're working on identifying fossils that we collected in the field. And so we're doing that work, and what we do is we work with all different kinds of people. So this is our group of people from last year, and we work with a bunch of different people. These are some people we worked with for about the last 20 years. Sometimes kids hang out with us, and what we do is we survey the landscape. So here, all these people are walking over looking for fossils, and right here, they're actually collecting fossils in the ground. And so what we do is we look for these fossils in these kinds of landscapes. So this is Venanzio's research area. These are some sites in Ethiopia. And all these layers that you see, those are rocks that potentially have fossils in them. So we walk over the surface, and as we're walking over the surface, we can find fossils. And so here's some examples of some of the fossils that we found. So this is a guy named Hamadou. He's Ethiopian. He's an amazing fossil finder. And so he found this jaw of an ancient ancestor to humans. You can see these are the molars. They really look a lot like our teeth. This is about 5 million years old. We find all kinds of other stuff. So here, this is a part of a skull of an ancient ape. This is part of a backbone. This is a leg bone. This is a lower jaw. And so we can use this fossil information to help us understand what the animals were like. Another thing that we can do is we can look at fossil leaves. So we can look at the plant fossils. So here, these are some examples of fossil leaves that we found. This is actually a big tree stump with roots going into it. So we can reconstruct like that this was a forest. And so we can use all that kind of information along with different features about the rocks themselves to help us understand the kinds of environments that these animals were living in. And so based on all that, we can reconstruct what the entire environment looked like. We can reconstruct what the temperature and the rainfall was like. We can look at fossil leaves to help us better understand what the plants were like. Here, these are all different, all these little white things that you see here, these are different fossils, different fossil animals that we found. I'm pointing here to some lake deposits where we found some of these fossils. And so based on all this information, we can reconstruct what it was like in the past and look at the different environments that we see. So things like tropical rainforests or environments where we have like these early apes living on a landscape next to a big volcano. And so we can use all of this different type of information to help us understand the past, and we can see when the environment was different in the past or what it might be like in the future, okay? And so what we have today are we have a few different activities. So we have 3 different activities. We have 2 activities that are related to earthquakes and trying to build structures to withstand an earthquake. And then we have another activity with rocks and minerals, okay? Either on one structure, or you can split up and work on 2 of the structures. Whatever you'd like to do. You guys are gonna work together?
Yes.
Okay, so what you need to do is kind of hold it in place, and it will sort of support itself, and then we can use these metal beams and these rubber bands. Okay? Yeah, you can start wherever. So we don't hold it at the top. You want to support it on the sides and the bottom. So what you can do is you can use the rubber bands and the metal beams along the structure. So for example, you could do like a rubber band.
Oh wait,
Oh yeah, don't worry. Don't worry about this part. We'll just look like our next week.
Here, can you? Oh yeah, you're right.
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it stands.
Hey, look at that. Okay, so the only thing that collapsed was the top. So let's see if we can figure out how to support the top.
Yes. So
That's Geo.
no, it's not Geo really, but yeah, it looks like a
Geo.
It does look like a Geo. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is that we have this paper here, and we're doing a scavenge hunt. So I want us to like read one of like. So how we're gonna do it is that find a mineral that is heavy from this stuff.
This one. That one. Yeah, that one.
Which one? That one.
This one is named that one.
So I want us to feel this.
Yeah. That's heavy.
That's the guy. All right. So the last one is it has holes.
Oh, right here.
There you go. That was an easy pick. Yeah. It's very light.
Put the big ones on the floor. Yeah, because it was stand up. Then the smaller ones.
Alright, so let's